But Kepha, standing up with the 11, lifted up his voice and said to them, "Men of Yehuda, and all those dwelling in Yerushalayim, let this be known to you, and listen closely to my words. For these men are not drunk as you imagine, since it is only the 3rd hour of the day. But this is what was spoken by the prophet Yoel. And it shall be in the last days, says Elohim, that I shall pour out of my spirit on all flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And also on my male servants, and on my female servants I shall pour out my spirit in those days, and they shall prophesy. And I shall show wonders in the heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the coming of the great and splendid day of Yahuwah. And it shall be that everyone who calls on the name of Yahuwah shall be saved." Men of Yisrael, hear these words. Yehoshua of Nazareth, a man from Elohim, having been pointed out to you by mighty works and wonders and signs which Elohim did through him in your midst, as you yourselves also know. This one, given up by the set purpose and foreknowledge of Elohim, you have impaled and put to death through the hands of lawless men. Him Elohim raised up, having loosed the pangs of death, because it was impossible that he could be held in its grip. For David says concerning him, "I saw Yahuwah before me continually, because he is at my right hand, in order that I should not be shaken. For this reason my heart rejoiced, and my tongue was glad, and now my flesh shall also rest in expectation. Because you shall not leave my being in Sheol, nor shall you give your lovingly committed one to see corruption. You have made known to me the ways of life. You shall fill me with joy in your presence." Men and brothers, let me speak boldly to you of the ancestor David, that he died and was buried, and his tomb is with us to this day. Being a prophet then, and knowing that Elohim had sworn with an oath to him, of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, to raise up the Messiah to sit on his throne. Foreseeing this, he spoke concerning the resurrection of the Messiah, that his being was neither left in Sheol, nor did his flesh see corruption. Elohim has raised up this Yehoshua, of which we are all witnesses. Therefore, having been exalted to the right hand of Elohim, and having received from the Father the promise of the set-apart Spirit, he poured out this which you now see and hear. For David did not ascend into the heavens, but he himself said, "Yahweh said to my master, sit at my right hand, until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet." Therefore, let all the house of Yisrael know for certain that Elohim has made this Yehoshua, whom you impaled, both Master and Messiah. And having heard this, they were pierced to the heart, and said to Kepha and the rest of the emissaries, "Men, brothers, what shall we do?" And Kepha said to them, "Repent, and let each one of you be immersed in the name of Yehoshua Messiah, for the forgiveness of sins, and you shall receive the gift of the set-apart Spirit. For the promise is to you and to your children, and to all who are far off, as many as Yahuwah, our Elohim, shall call." And with many other words he earnestly witnessed and urged them, saying, "Be saved from this crooked generation." Then those, indeed, who gladly received his word were immersed. And on that day, about 3,000 beings were added to them.